What's going on? Welcome back to the TDE pod. We got Stefan on the pod this week. We are talking about the new Chronicles structure deck. We're talking about Stefan's very first Mat CS win. We're talking about the new 5Ds product and product moving on in Yu-Gi-Oh! As well as the new recently emergency ban list. So stay tuned. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the TDE pod. Stefan, what's up, man?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Let's just kick it off how we normally do. What was your week like in Yu-Gi-Oh?
It was a quieter week. I didn't go to locals this week. Just didn't have the time. But had a pretty good week at Mat CS.
Yeah, you did.
Not going to complain about that.
You won your first ever Mat CS full tournament.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Stefan as I jab the mic. What was that like for you?
Stressful.
Long time coming.
Long time coming, but stressful.
Yeah.
As soon as you get to that last round, you're just like sweating and just like worrying about every single move that you make, any misplay that you could make.
Yeah.
But made it through it.
Yeah, awesome, man. If I'm not lazy, I'll throw the picture in the middle of the podcast here. I think maybe John, I can't remember if John's won one, but I think you may have been either the last or second to last, which is just a testament to how good we are at Yu-Gi-Oh. No, but yeah, man, that's sick. Yeah. It was a long time coming. You were very close, like 2 or 3 other times or something.
Yeah.
So finally got and there's still there's a lot of weeks left in the year, so you can still make a push, see if you can get the big trophy at the end. My week in Yu-Gi-Oh was a little strange. I played at not our usual locals, but the other locals on Tuesday, which is a 3-round tournament, and it was kind of bizarre. What do you call that? What's the thing where it's like deja vu? Because last time I went there, I won the tournament.
And you cleaned up.
And the first 2 rounds I played against Memento and then DDD, and then in the finals I played against a Christian K9 player. This week I played against the same 2 guys in the first 2 rounds, lost both.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and really nice guy, the Memento player. I think he's like newer to the game. But there's one point he like inherent summoned his the big Memento guy, the 5K guy. Yeah. And I had Mysterion on board, and he was like, okay, now and I'm like, no, man, that's not how that works. And he's like, oh, what? And I'm like, yeah, you got it. Like, but yeah, I guess just as like for new players, just a notice. Always read the cards and don't get sharked by guys who just want to get wins out of you, kind of thing. Because for me, I only want to win if I know my opponent played to the best of their ability, not because I like sharked him on something or like, or he's like, no, you banished my thing, and I go, yeah, sure, like that. Yeah, no, that's scummy, but yeah, it's cool. Then I played against I guess friend of the pod, Carl, who's playing DDD. Right. And man, that deck just does so much. It's like insane.
I haven't seen it myself yet. I've just heard it from the adjacent table. But, yeah, it seems like a lot.
Yeah, I just, even when I have like full, my biggest mistake I made against him, because we went into game 3, I drew Droll and Fuelos. Right. And obviously with those 2 cards, it's kind of like, which one do I use? And based off our previous 2 games, like I know the deck adds a lot. So I drolled him. And then later on, you know, after the match had ended, I was like, okay, this is what I had. Like, was that the right move? And he was like, honestly, nah, man. Like, probably should have Fuad. Yeah. I didn't have Ash, and I had 2 Fuas in hand, so that should have been the thing for me, is get max value. But either way, didn't cut. And then I actually ended up playing Raid last round, and I beat Raid, so I felt bad about it. But then Mat CS Thursday, I didn't do as well as you. I think I played against Dan. Did I play against you?
Yeah, I was first round.
Yeah. Oh, you and I were first round. So you beat me, obviously. And then I played against Dan, and then Charles, something like that.
I think it was Charles. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say, or maybe I actually don't remember who I played against.
No, it was Charles because he was sitting there at that seat at the
Yeah.
end there.
Then who did I play last round? Because it wasn't Dan. Dan played against.
It was only 3 rounds.
Yeah, so I played
So
against
me,
you,
Daniel,
Charles.
And Charles.
Did I
Then
play
you guys
against-
went and did Genesis right after that.
Oh, that's right. Oh, it did end with yeah. Okay. Anyways, if I get around to it, I'll post the footage of that. And then I didn't get to play too much of the locals. I had a thing I had to do, so I had to drop locals early. It was the tournament for the branded structure, which we'll get into, and a really sick mat that I really wanted to win. I lost my first match against Yummy, and it sucked.
It's haunting you a little bit.
Yeah. I definitely need to test more with the current build I'm playing.
Yummy Mitsu or just pure?
Just pure Yummy, which is like before support came out, I felt like it was a favored matchup for Draco Tail. Now it's pretty even.
Yeah.
And then when you factor in board breakers, like it's really tough. And then I think at one point he purged one of my traps.
Oh yeah.
So that sucked, but whatever. So it was kind of an underwhelming week for me in Yu-Gi-Oh, but we're back at it again this week, so we'll see what happens. But speaking of that tournament, Brandon, I remember when you first started playing with us, the Albaz Strike was one of the first kind of structure decks you picked up.
That's right.
So did you have any interest in this product?
Well, not really because of my interest wasn't there, not so much because of the product, but just because I've invested into Yummy already. So there isn't really room for me to juggle that into my mix.
Sure, yeah.
But it was nice to see that it got some more support. I mean, I don't think anybody's surprised about this. It was such a popular deck already.
Yeah, very true.
I actually didn't even play Branded that much when
No,
I
you
got
didn't.
I played it for like 3 weeks, and I think at that point, I think I was still back on RDA.
RDA, yeah, something like that. Did you mix them at one point?
No, I don't think
not.
so.
Okay.
I think I had a Branded Despia was the one that
okay, yeah.
Because I had like the fusions and like tragedy and comedy.
Gotcha.
Field spell.
Okay. Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat where I never played Branded. I've only recently started playing Branded as a sub engine in Draco Tail.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the Branded deck has never interested me up until very recently. Just because like there's kind of like a stigma that follows Branded players with like the 24-hour combo video and whatever. It's a lot. It's just a lot to dive into. And I don't like playing more than 40 cards if I don't have to. So looking at some Branded lists, it's like 55, 60 cards. So I'm like, ooh, I don't know.
I come around to that more. Like my deck build right now is 50 cards. And I haven't done that consistently in a while. Yeah. It worked out for now. So we'll see if
exactly.
It stays, but...
Yeah, it's interesting. And I feel like that, like we talked about this, UI and Dan, a few episodes back, but is 60 cards becoming the new standard, or at least 40 plus becoming the new standard? And I think people are less reserved about playing 40 exact now. I don't think I've gotten over that. Maybe it's just my pea-sized brain, but I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, for this product, it's kind of interesting because when I first started playing the game, there were products like the Geargia structure deck, there were the Dark World, I think Lightsworn had one at that time, and the original Fire King deck. Right. So then when I came back to the game a few years ago, there was another Dark World deck, another Fire King deck, and then there was Ice Barrier and the Charmers.
That's right.
So I picked up I picked up the Dark World, the Charmers, and the Ice Barrier. And they were all, at least by the time I had gotten to them, underwhelming. Yeah. Now, I love Ice Barrier. That is my Genesis deck right now. I'll post that video soon, too. Me whooping Charles. But, especially like the Charmer deck, because Dark World's kind of like whatever. It's a deck that loses to Droll no matter what. Yeah. So, that's a thing. It loses to Shifter, too. Who would have thought? But, the Charmers deck, very underwhelming. Fun. And I played it against like you guys when you guys were first, getting your bearings in the game. And it was it was like the deck I played when I was like, okay, I want these guys to learn some stuff, and I don't just want to OTK them kind of thing. So like play this Unga Boonga, my guys get big deck. But what I've noticed, you know, a year or 2 years later, you get the Fire King, then Blue Eyes, now this branded deck.
No, even RDA's in that mix too.
Yeah, absolutely. Where these decks are good.
Yeah.
And it's not just like they're, oh yeah, a new player could pick them up and kind of get their feet, which is still the case. Like when Blue Eyes came out, there was definitely that resurgence of like returning players. But I guess what we see now, and I think it's not just the quality of the new cards, it's the quality of the reprints. Which is like this structure deck. I have an unopened version of it right here. Phenomenal. So we can kind of go through some of the cards. But there's a lot of notable ones that stick out, and the new cards are pretty good. So there's the new branded Fusion Dragon, which uses a light, a dark, and a Fallen of Albaz. So it's not a valid branded fusion target because that requires you to send 2. But you can just normal Albaz into a Mitsurugi Yummy board and clear it, which is insane. I was doing some math on it today. It's like, hey, if I normal Albaz, discard for cost, and you Murakumo force me to discard, I've gone, say, neg 3 or neg 2 at the very least, but I've hit you for 2. And I get to summon the guy, and I shuffle 2 of your cards back. So even though you might go neg, like neg 1 in that exchange, it still feels pretty good.
Does it shuffle back from field or from grave?
From grave.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty
so I'm interested to see how that card specifically factors into Draco Tail and even branded itself. But I think what the better of the 2 new cards is the Quick Play. The Fallen and the Virtuous. It's got 2 effects. One is like if you have an Ecclesia in your grave, target a monster in grave, special summon it. So it's kind of like spell card Monster Reborn. Obviously with the conditions that you have to have an Ecclesia. But the first effect is quick effect, target a card on field, quick effect, send from extra deck to grave, a monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz, target a card on field, destroy it.
good.
So it's cool because it's like kind of like Final Bringer of the End Times. But first off, you get that send, which starts a lot of your branded plays or follow up at the very least. But what people are using it for is dodging, because if you normal Albaz or you normal Aluber, you lose to Imperm Veiler in a lot of situations. You chain this, you pop your own monster, and you get the send, which means the first effect resolves. You get the send for your follow up or whatever, and then you completely dodge the Veiler Imperm or any targeted effect. So that's pretty cool application. It's always treated as like a branded or Dogmatica card. So it's cool in that way too. But is it as good as Wishes with Eyes of Blue? I don't know, but definitely not Ultimate Spirit. But this is like a powerful deck already, whereas Blue Eyes was kind of a deck that got, a resurgence revitalized. But this is a deck that's kind of just getting support. And you get branded fusion back at 2. So it's going to be interesting to see like how much branded comes back into the meta conversation. I don't know. Have you ever played against this deck like in tournament?
No. I know Daniel had a pretty rough go at it recently against someone who I think must have just been playing it like ever since it dropped in the first place. This dude just seems like the expert. But myself, no, actually. A couple times here at Matt CS, but it wasn't like anything.
Oh, right. Yeah. I played against it once when I was back on Voiceless, and it was the first time I had ever like interacted with the deck. And the guy summoned like the Dragon Lord, the Dark and Light, Light and Dark Dragon. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? I got nothing.
Negates 3 times or something, right?
Yeah, just the next 3 effects that happen. So, and in some cases it can be a turn skip, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with it. But I guess what I'm more excited for is the quality of structure deck that we're now getting. Like here, let me crack this one open. just so we can take a look at some of these like reprints that are in here. This is our first ASMR content on the channel.
And we don't even have those 5Ds decks yet, but even those, some pretty good reprints too.
Yeah, like you get the Charmies in those too.
Charmies are in there. Hand traps too. Full set of Ash, Imperm, not Veiler, but it's not bad.
So you get the standard Fallen of Albaz, Ecclesia, Luber, Cartesia, Albion, Quem, Mercurior, all this stuff, right?
Should be obvious. The new Cartesia is not in here, right? The Thunder, whatever that one's called, the Lightning.
Oh no! Oh, that's Fleur-de-Lis.
Right.
But okay, so first off, the biggest one, Lubellion.
Yeah, massive.
Huge. Like this is crazy. Then you get one of each bestial besides Baldrake. Pretty good. You get some Dogmatica cards, whatever, Maximus. You get a Nib, an Ultra Nib. Keeper of Dragon Magics, not nothing. You get one of the new quick plays. You get a branded fusion, all the branded spells, including fusion deployment with, this is probably the best alt art in the game.
Yeah.
You get Thrust.
Right.
This is a $20 card. Or it was anyways. A Super Poly, all the branded traps. You get a Black Goat Laughs, Dogmatica Punishment, that's not nothing. Fusion Duplication, and then you get kind of all the branded dragons or adjacent branded fusion monsters like Grand Guinol's in here, the new cards in here, Ice Blade, Albion, Lubellion, you name it, right?
All Ultras is a really pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, all Ultras is awesome too, right? Because I don't know, I have this thing where like if I have a common in my deck, it's like it bugs me.
Yeah,
like the fact that they printed Dracotail Sting as a common and not a super was just like such a slap in the face.
It's gonna be like an OTS super or something. Like
hopefully. But yeah, I guess like I don't know why this aspect of it excites me. Where I'm like, oh, if I have a friend who wants to play the game, like this is a good product I can point them to because you get so many staples in here. But like, I don't think anyone I know wants to play this game. Like if they're not already, you know what I mean? Like the first person I thought I was like Will, like and then I was like, okay, well, Blue Eyes didn't go well. This definitely
combo deck.
yeah, no, this is a definite combo deck. But yeah, I don't know. Like, even though you're committed to Yummy and stuff, is this a product that you think you would pick up just for the reprints?
Yeah, I could probably see myself grabbing it too. Like, what the cost in Canadian is? What, like $30 probably?
$30 each, which is a little steep. Like the structure decks have been going up because you always see online like $30 like match 3 of them together, and I'm like, okay, those days are past, especially in Canada. Even the Blue Eyes one was like 25.
Yeah, it went up pretty fast.
Yeah, so yeah, whatever. It's still budget.
It's less of an investment than like even like when I built that Despian version of the deck, I paid more than that.
Oh, really?
Well, I paid more than, well, maybe not more than 90, but just because these are all foiled, that's probably why.
Yes.
So I'm just thinking of like the 3 structure deck process.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you win some, you lose some. It's just like a special deck.
Yeah, I really like the idea of like all ultras.
Yeah.
Just for that same thing, like I don't like commons, but it's also just like for the reprint aspect, because a lot of times when you get reprints in these decks, like even the Blue Eyes one had Nib, Droll, Ash, I believe, and Imperm.
And Veiler.
Yeah. That's crazy in retrospect. So you get playsets of those if you didn't already have them for whatever 3 structure decks costs you, but these ones are foiled.
Yeah.
Which is like totally defeats that whole like maybe I'll just, now that the prices drop because there's commons in the market, maybe I'll go pick up some rarity collection ones or something. And now you don't really need to because you have them right there. But yeah, I think some people on our team are gonna start playing this deck.
Yeah.
And obviously with branded, there's like different ways you can take it. But yeah, I kind of love the lore decks, like White Forest being like the most recent one.
Yeah.
Where these kind of like maybe that one got a little too crazy with Snake Eye. Like if you compare the power levels of like White Forest to Snake Eye, all hinging on Diabell Star, like there's maybe some
just a bit
inconsistencies, but like the Visa stuff, I played against a Canadian player. I actually played a Friday locals too. I went 2-2. So, But I played against a Vanadium player on Friday, and yeah, I was just like, yeah, go ahead combo, man. Like, I'm holding Droll and Nib, but like, you know, Droll really early on, see what you can do. But it's just like cool to see all these cards functioning together. Because he had the Kashtira stuff, Scareclaw, whatever, Vanadium, all that stuff kind of in one. Everything except for tier, I guess. But it's just cool to see. Yeah. So, yeah, have you watched? Because this new structure deck is all based off the Chronicles, which is the new animated series. I'm sure if anyone's watching this, they are aware. But have you gotten time to watch this series?
I haven't. I do have it set aside on a tab somewhere on my computer. But yeah, I'll get to it eventually.
It's pretty good.
It's nice that they're doing it again. Like, it's nice to have something to look at.
Yes.
Related to the cards that we're playing. I do feel like there is like a hole in the market for something like that, because this is a great on ramp for people who've seen that.
Yes.
If it gets promoted to the right places. But you know, not to pull back on like more dual monsters like Zorking or anything, but I feel like there is a hole that's not being capitalized on.
Yeah. I mean, it is weird. Like, at any given time in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh, there has been a show to point to, and right now there is. You know, if you're in Japan or like in an Asian market, you have Rush, Go Rush, whatever it's called. Now I'm sure there's dubs out there that exist, or at least subtitled versions of it, but it's not. It's for a specific version of the game that doesn't exist overseas. So we are kind of left out of it. Even if we did watch a show, it wouldn't be a one-to-one thing we could point at and be like, I want to play with those cards. Now I wonder if Rush ever comes over here. I honestly can't see it happening.
With Genesis coming out, like I feel like that would have been the chance to sort of announce that kind of a thing, just because it does kind of riff a little bit on the older play style.
Right.
Kind of. Because it's kind of like Speed Duel, right?
Yes.
But like with a little bit more going on.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm honestly not that familiar with, because I know like in Rush, like ritual monsters are in the extra deck.
Yes.
There's like changes like that, where like complete changes. I don't know, when I think of like our locals, like they have Genesis Knights. At one point they had Edison Knights, but they had some trouble like filling slots or whatever. I would imagine it could be tough to sustain Rush here. But who knows? You know, it might come out and be like, this is much better. I can't ever see myself saying that, but it's possible.
And it's kind of tough too. I'm kind of speaking from, like, I play the Gundam card game as well from time to time. Introducing a new product right now is really hard because supply ends up, I mean, maybe this wouldn't be the case with Konami because we don't really suffer with Yu-Gi-Oh that way.
Right.
But product for that new Gundam game is gone.
Yeah,
like, it is not. And the new set just came out this week, last week, and it's you can't find it anywhere. They've delayed it, and reprints just don't come. Yeah. So if it's like a new product.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I think the Jays just hit a home run. Yeah, no, definitely. Like, that was I think that went on at our locals this weekend. Was like they were supposed to have a big event for the Gundam release, and I think some other game release. It's a new one. Can't remember, it's Riftbound or something.
Yeah, the League of Legends game. Yeah.
Type of thing, yeah. But they just couldn't get product in. It was just so scarce. So that's unfortunate, especially if you're like a player of that card game. But I guess it's good in the lens of like people are buying it.
Yeah.
And maybe like I think Bandai makes Gundam, right? I'm not sure who makes Riftbound.
Yeah, I don't know either if it's tied to. It might be an in-house thing. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good for them. That'll incentivize them to make more product, and hopefully like more of that product.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. But yeah, who knows if Rush Duel ever came here? Would it be kind of similar to that? Yeah, I'm not too sure if I would even want to play Rush Duel.
Yeah, well, because then it's sort of like the Genesis problem, but on Overdrive. Like, we already have the Genesis cards.
Yeah.
The Genesis cards. So it's not a problem for us, but then we have to invest into new product regardless.
Right. Yeah, that is interesting. And I've thought about this a lot since the announcement of Genesis. Like, we talked about it when it first got announced to you and I. Like, what is product going to look like for Genesis? Because even some of the cards that came out, the new cards in this set, have been have points associated with them now already, like 2 days after the official release or whatever. Which is good, because if a card's overpowered, it should be addressed. And that's Genesis's whole thing, right?
And it means they're keeping an eye on it too, so
Yes.
at least they're not just like letting a product slide out, forgetting about it, and then being like, oh shit, we gotta
which I think was like the fear, right, of people being like, well, won't the new decks just be the best because they don't have points yet? And it's like, no, they're actually pre-testing some of these things, which is nice to hear. But it is also strange too, because it's like hard to design a product. Like, one of the appeals of these new structure decks is that like they come with new powerful cards, which incentivizes you to buy 3 because you want 3 of those cards. But if those cards are 33 points of Genesis, you're probably less incentivized to buy more than one of those products. So I wonder, in the long term, what product might look like with the rising popularity of Genesis.
Yeah, I think unless we get like specifically Genesis branded structure decks, it might be tough. I think we mentioned that before on the previous episode as well. I think it's more just going to depend on what pack filler looks like in new sets going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope there's a marked improvement on pack filler, but we are getting things like the first penguin, so
that's right.
That is a good sign for pack filler, I think.
We're getting reprints like this though, and the common reprints in the 5Ds decks though, I don't know how much that opens the market to having those kinds of common reprints in a main set. Probably a bit of an overstep to assume, but
sure,
who knows?
It's possible. I mean, they would never do it in a main set. It would always be like
a maze
of something, or a Battles of Legend or whatever, which is cool still, because those are all foiled and whatnot. But now that rarity has been phased out of the distribution cycle, it's going to be interesting to see where they choose to put these things in. Like, we've seen it recently with like the Mega Pack or like the maze sets. And the reprints in those can feel underwhelming because they're often short printed. I don't suspect that changes, but I had mentioned this in our group chat earlier. It makes a lot of sense to me why the Mulch Armies would be reprinted in this product, because like if you look at some of those decks, like the Blackwing deck has no new cards,
which I'm shocked by that.
Absolutely.
Like, I know that we got some of the Red Rose stuff in Doom of Dimensions, but not even like 1 or 2 cards for Blackwings.
And so I've bought in the legendary decks. I bought legendary decks too. When I was returning to the game, just because I wanted to buy a Yu-Gi-Oh product.
I did the same.
I like went into whatever drugstore and was just like, what do you got? I was going home with something. And that was cool because I got a common Red Eyes Fusion. I was like, hey, this is pretty sweet. But now that I play competitively and on a regular basis, those are the type of products I stay away from. Mostly just because there's nothing of value in it. Like, there's no chase cards. And for the most part, especially like in the case of Blackwings or the Rose stuff, I've already had access to those, and they already don't interest me. And if they did, I would already have them. So then this product still wouldn't appeal to me. So like, this one's kind of like a peculiar product because I don't really know who it's for. Whereas like the branded thing, returning players, new players, just fans of branded, and more importantly, new fans of the IP in the Chronicles. And then, competitive players, because there are cards that influence the metagame that are being reprinted, right? But for this, with the exception of the Mulch Armies, what incentive do you have to buying this product? Like,
I guess this one could be like a nostalgia bait thing for people to maybe try in Genesis, but like, how good are those strategies going to be in Genesis is a question too, which, and I'm biased because I like RDA, but I am kind of surprised that for a deck that did get new support cards that wasn't featured in there, just because Blackwings didn't have the support.
Right.
So it's kind of funny that, okay, you could have just tossed in like Crimson Gaia, Red Zone, and given it a rarity boost, because those cards are common in the starter deck. Yeah,
because I think each deck comes with like three.
I think it's like 5.
5.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 foils, and then the rest, because I think, is it 50 cards? Or
I think so.
The rest are common, which is fine. Like, I think reprints are fine. But also, it's like you get 1 Mulch Army.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe if the idea is that a group of friends is picking up these decks to play against each other, having one Charmy is probably that kind of arbitrary balance you want to maintain.
Sure.
But in terms of a product that people want to buy for reprints, it doesn't really do the trick, because we were doing the math behind it today. It's like, okay, well, if I'm buying this product just to get the Charmies, I think most of us have ours, but for any of us who don't, like, okay, well, this is a cheap way to get Charmies now. But say you did buy the product, you'd be spending $90 to get 9 Charmies out of it. It's $10 a piece, which is much better than they're currently selling for, obviously. $60 a piece or $50 a piece. But it's still like, now I have 9 decks that have no new cards, have no value. They're all commons. They're just getting tossed, right?
You don't even get a nice bulk box anymore. It's just like it kind of looks like these things. It's just tall.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see how this plays out, but it feels like one of those products that you're going to see for years to come in the drugstore, at Walmart, just sitting, collecting dust on the shelf. I don't even know if local game stores will want to pick up this product, because it's not one that appeals to like the usual suspects, you know? But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully there's a card in this synchro strategy that's new and it's like, oh, this makes X deck better.
Sure.
Tough to gauge just off seeing the cards, but right now I'm fairly underwhelmed. And it's kind of strange, like a product like this, which is like, I only have positive things to say about, being like directly preceded by something like the 5D set.
Yeah. How close they're releasing is pretty strange. Like it is kind of a whiplash. It's almost like the championship set. I mean, granted, that's because of the championship event,
right?
But that still did release like the week before
the Mega Pack. Yeah, definitely. We've been in this spot before for sure. And again, like, I have good things to say about the Champion Pack because I think conceptually it's cool. Yeah. In practice, what happened was not, because, you know, a lot of those Champion Packs are still on shelves at stores because I feel like there just wasn't enough time for people to be excited about that product before the Mega Packs came out. And obviously Mega Pack way more value, right? Because I think those championship ones were like $30.
Yeah, they weren't cheap for what it is.
Yeah. So like much better value in the Mega Packs, and even then it was like the Mega Packs came with a whole host of issues too. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. What I'm hoping is that these things start to get ironed out, because it seems like even with things like Genesis or even the emergency ban list, which we have to get into, that they're starting to listen to the community more.
It really does, yeah.
But yeah, any other thoughts on that before we move on?
No, just I guess we'll wait and see how that sells. I also don't expect it to really get moved much. Frankly, I don't even expect to see them at CBG.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a pre-order page up for them or anything.
No, I hadn't seen one, so yeah, I guess we'll see, or we won't. And maybe Odyssey's maybe just not a product for like consistent Yu-Gi-Oh players. Maybe it is just one of those nostalgia bait kind of things. But it doesn't feel like, I don't feel like we're living in a time now where things can't be both. Because look at Blue Eyes. Like, that was both. People picked that up because it was good. People picked that up because it was Blue Eyes White Dragon.
This could have been maybe only like Junk Synchron or only Red Rose Dragon. Like, did we even need the Blackwing cards in there at all? Like, was it even worth adding that? I understand that they wanted to have 3, but then it almost becomes like a 2-player starter set if you have just the 2.
Right.
Which is, to me, more appealing than whatever that was that they did before.
Yeah. Like, I guess with 3, if you treat it as a 2-player starter set, you get to swap.
Oh, sure.
And it's not just... But I personally never... Even when I bought the Legendary decks, it was like, what cards are good in these? Let me use those.
Yeah.
It was never like, here, you try this one, I'll try this one. That's like a concept that I love in theory, but I've never utilized in practice. Like, hey, let's do a draft or whatever. Even then, when we played drafts here, it was like we chose the cards that kind of went into the pool, so to speak. But Yeah. Anyways, let's talk more about Konami and how they decipher information, I guess, because this was shocking.
Yeah.
I would have never seen this coming.
Oh, and what a weird time. It was like at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Just see a Twitter update. Huh?
Yeah, I thought it was fake.
Yeah.
I thought I was like, oh yeah, wouldn't that be nice? And then I look at the official Konami account. Okay, let me go check this myself. At this point, you know, your favorite Yugi tubers have talked about this ad nauseum, but let's get our 2 cents in here. Like, great ban list, right?
Yeah, no complaints.
No complaints.
We're gonna need new stuff to talk about. We've been talking about Dimension Barrier for the last month.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy too because it feels like, because this is something that would like never happen or has happened like so rarely, especially since you and I started playing the game like competitively, we haven't seen a ban list like this. The closest thing would be like the Snake Eye ban list,
and like maybe Lacrima, because of how fast that particular card was banned.
Yes,
so.
yeah. And I think even Lacrima coming back on the last ban list was kind of indicative of like they are paying attention to patterns in the metagame where, okay, we know Lacrima feels like an unfair card when we have time rules. Now that there's no more time rules, why shouldn't this card come back? And the answer is, well, there's no good reason it shouldn't. Now it's back. Now it's great. Whatever. Make your Caesar. Who cares? But this emergency ban list was addressed like everything. You know, I find it hard not to believe that they saw the Josh Schmidt video and were like, this guy's fucking cooking us. Like, but I think like that part of it's cool too, where like someone who's a world champion in the game, albeit in Master Duel, but like a respected and like has a big voice in the community, came out not like fuck Konami, fuck that, fuck this, whatever, just being like, I'm disappointed in the game. Like, this was so good, and these things have become problematic, and it's truly not Konami's fault. Yeah. It's the total depravity of Yu-Gi-Oh players. You know, it's our competitive drive where we'll go through the database and find whatever degenerate thing we can. But you know, it was ruining the game. It made the game way less enjoyable. And now moving forward, I'm not going to have to worry about getting, you know, artifact locked or what have you. Like, even the fossil dyna thing too. Yeah, I don't know. I guess, what were your initial feelings after seeing the list?
It was almost like a perfect storm, just kind of going back to the Joshua Schmidt thing, because he had just released that other video praising the format, right? Yeah. So like without that lining up with the immediate disappointment after Anaheim, and then the follow-up video that he had released after that as well, like, yeah, I have to imagine that was probably a factor, like a big factor. I think it's great. I don't think anybody loves playing those cards. Like, nobody sits there and goes, synchro, and then like cries.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's great. I have no complaints. Now, like, I've put cards that are similar to an extent into my side deck. So like, I've got Spellbound, for example.
Sure.
Which I've been a Spellbound truther from the very beginning.
Yeah, absolutely, you have.
Much fairer card though.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
can do something when it's activated. I have no complaints. I don't know, like, it's just crazy to see it. Like, the Protoss thing especially, I think, is a big change, just because of how like unwilling to change they've been in the past. Right. That now that they've brought it back, they were quick enough to say, shit, our bad. And flip it back into the bin. The
closest thing I can compare that one to is like they brought back Snatch Steal at one point 10 years ago. And we're like, fuck. Took it off and then brought it back at some point. But the Protoss one is, that one like just should have never happened. Like, it probably should have never came back. But like, I don't know anyone. I know a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players. I don't know anyone who was like playing Nemesis.
No, it was like, just used for evil and prize wheel.
Yeah. So I'm like fine with that being gone. I always like hate it when a deck loses a boss monster. We've talked about this, but sometimes it just has to go. Yeah. And I think the same is true of floodgates. There's some floodgates that are fair, and I think one of the biggest things, like it's come up a lot on this podcast, but lingering floodgate versus floodgate. Because I think in most cases, floodgates are fine. The barrier statues feel kind of messed up. Pachycephalus feels kind of messed up. But all things under the sun, like, they feel a lot more fair because I can get rid of that card. Now, when you combine, Shifter with Pachycephalus or Barrier Statue, then it feels maybe not so good, especially as a Dracotail player. But yeah, when it's just something like a continuous trap card, so it's like, okay, first of all, you have to draw that.
You have to wait a turn.
Yes, I can just MST it, and then I play, and you had banked on that strategy or something. That could have been any other card. But now you have to play that. I think things like that feel bad, but they're still fine.
Because it feels less bad. Like
and the big thing to me is that it encourages gameplay. In order for you to continue doing the combo that's ideal for you, you have to get rid of my floodgate first. Sure. But when it's just like, I activated this card, now you can't do anything. Feels like, final boss in the anime type shenaniganery. But even then, there's usually a way out. So I'm happy to see all these cards go. Is there any that you feel like got missed?
I do kind of wonder if it wasn't worth just getting rid of all of the barrier statues at this point. Like, what real reason is there to keep, what is it, water, light? Is there a third one that's
dark? I think is still out there, still out there lurking. Because I feel like cards like this is like a matter of time things.
Exactly. Somebody else will just find some other way to get it out eventually, and then we'll be right back where we started.
Exactly. And what's cool too is I like that they didn't ban like Gallant Granite. They just banned the problem card, right?
It's almost the reverse of what we were talking about like 4 weeks ago.
Right. Or with like Moon kind of thing, right? Like, if they ban the Fiendsmith cards, that just sucks for anyone who like enjoys Fiend decks or Fiendsmith specifically.
And invested into those cards.
Exactly. Which can't be understated. But ban this 20-year-old card that is dog water in any other application besides locking your opponent out of the game. And I think at the time these barrier statues came out, they're low attack monsters. It was like a turn skip. But a turn skip 20 years ago.
20 years ago, you're saying, here's my barrier statue of light. You can't tribute summon Blue Eyes this turn. Sorry, bro. And then he'll just attack it with like a summon skull.
Something like that, right? That was fine to skip a turn 20 years ago because it was one turn. And how much damage could you really do in one turn? Now, skipping a turn is winning the game, 100%, right? So, and it's not like there's decks whose strategies are dependent on these that are worth considering when we adapt the metagame. Like, I don't think we have to be so precious about keeping stun players engaged in the game. Like, that might be shitty to say. But honestly, like, get fucked. Like, runic stun players, like, for the most part, any stun players, like, I think the Morganite stuff is cool, right? Because it's giving you a modern way to play stun. Whereas I feel like anything else is kind of just like times have changed, old man.
This doesn't even affect runic stun players. Runic stun players can play their runic cards till the cows come home. It's just now that you can't also have this other 20-year-old factor added into
exactly. In Pachycephalus especially, where it's just like, okay, I normal Fossil Dyna and I pass. Set 5 and set 4 and pass. It's like, it is a way to play and it's a way to win games. We've had this conversation before, but it's like, go do that in Genesis for 100 points or whatever. Like, find a way. But I don't think maintaining that type of player is, and I think that's what the Josh Schmidt video did. It's like, it's not only like these pro players who like love the game and whatnot, but it's everyone who watches them and appreciates the game for the same reasons that are upset by, Joe Blow with his stun deck at locals. I played against this one kid. His name's Jackson. I sat down and he goes, "Oh, it's Mr. Podcast." I was like, "Oh shit, you watch the show?" So shout out to Jackson, man. Solid player. He was playing Mitsuyami.
Is our locals or the other locals?
Our locals, our
Oh,
locals.
that's fun.
Yeah. I had the TDE mat and he noticed it, but actually he used to play stun.
Oh.
So I wonder. You tell me if I see you at the next locals, if the shame you had to take in on this podcast at all influenced your choice. Watch next week. He's gonna come back with stun and be like, "Fuck you" in particular. But yeah, happy to see these cards go. Happy to see stun players grow up, and yeah, I don't know. Rest in piss, I guess. Like, I guess emergency ban list as a concept. Obviously, like we said, this is one where like Konami was listening. What else are on your like, not bucket list, but like to-do list items that like if Joe Konami is watching this podcast, like what's next on the docket?
I guess just seeing like what a Genesis product would be, going back to that. Like
Yeah.
I kind of want to see just what they would plan for something like that, because it's kind of hard to complain about. I can't say it's hard to complain about Konami product because it's very easy to complain about Konami product.
We've made a whole podcast out of it.
But it is interesting. I was thinking about this today. That maybe not so much the Gundam card game, besides the initial release run because the stock is so low, but games like Pokemon, games like Magic get scalped to shit.
Right.
And we do not have that problem at all.
Thank God. Yeah.
Like there is not a single, like it's not worth scalping Yu-Gi-Oh product, which
No.
yeah, thank God, like you said.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that it's so different.
You almost like want scalpers in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like you want like vendors who are willing to buy the product that you're not, so they can sell you a card for $60, so you don't have to buy the box for 90, right? Like our community lives and dies by our vendors, right? Because I'm not buying a box of two-listed feds, like, but I do need Frixel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's okay. I was gonna ask you though, what do you think about the collectible nature of Yu-Gi-Oh and like the way that the market can sometimes affect things based on what is collectible and what isn't?
Yeah, I think like the biggest example is like Magia of recent note. And I guess kind of things like the alt art QCRs that came out. Like was that Rarity 4?
Yeah, 3 or 4, one of
them.
Yeah.
So I'm of two minds. First off, I think like the Magic thing when it happened was cool, also a little bit frustrating. I think it's cool that like to get collectors back in our game, which again is like that same principle as vendor. They're going after the chase card. I don't want the chase card. I don't need the Starlight. I'll take the secret rare. So, but they're opening products, so they're going to get these cards. They're going to sell them, which they have every right to do. And I'm happy to buy them from those vendors.
Yeah.
Now, when it's like a meta relevant card and it's also a chase card, that feels bad because then if it's meta relevant, everyone who wants to play this game at a high level, accepting that there is a financial cost to that, should be able to.
Yeah.
Right? Like, obviously, like sometimes it takes a while to find cards and you got to order some and whatnot, but I think that's fine. Everyone kind of accepts that. At some point in time, before the next ban list, I will have a full version of this deck, and I'll be able to play it to the best of my ability. I've talked about this before on the pod too, where like when I was playing Malice, there was a point where I was just like, I'm not paying $300 for Impulse. Like, I just don't want to do it. And that's a personal choice, right? And I think it goes to like the way things are printed, short printed, even making cards that they know are meta relevant into the secret rares. I think these all kind of factor into what turns into kind of like a bad feeling of like, we look at Forbidden Crown, we recognize it's probably going to be a staple.
That was going to hurt.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is I don't like gatekeeping the competitive side of our game behind a paywall. Of how willing people are going to be to buy secondhand these cards from vendors. But I think there does need to be an element of chase rares in our game, which I think those alt rare, like the branded alt rares, and there was a Diabellstar one. But I think it's Cartesia, Albaz. There's an Ecclesia, Diabellstar, and I can't remember if there's any others. But those 4 in particular.
I think Zeus was in there too.
Yes, yeah. Zeus. Zeus and maybe Raigeki or something.
Chaos Max had one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Right. So stuff like that I think is cool.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes in like the Starlight or QCR slot. Because not only is it a shinier version of the card, but it also has that chase factor of like, there's people who are competitive who want it just to have it, just to be like, yo, check out my Cartesia. I'd be like, yo, that's sick. Like you're that way. Like you prefer, if you can get like a shinier version of the card, you will. And I think that's cool. Yeah. And I think people should have the ability to do that. And I think collectors, like there has to be a way to get collectors interested in buying product again. But then what also feels bad is I'm like, man, I kind of like that Cartesia alt art. I don't want to pay for a QCR. It's so expensive. But I have to accept that. And this product, in a historical sense, would have been where Konami reprinted those alt rares, like the alt arts. And they chose not to, which I think is like a show of good faith, because when the Exodia pieces, for instance, came out as Starlight rares initially, then got reprinted into Oblivion in QCR, the value tanked. And so that tells collectors, like, oh, the people producing this game don't care about the value of your cards, meaning it's not profitable for you to collect these cards, meaning you shouldn't buy product, which means there's less product around, right? Because we have to like acknowledge that there's like whales in our game, being vendors, being collectors, right?
We share community with Master Duel. There's it's around us everywhere.
Exactly. So I think there's a kind of a middle ground that we have to reach where everyone has access to pulling that chase card by way of just entering a tournament and getting a pack, which is the way it should always be. But also, if you buy a bunch of product, you have a better chance. Again, we're gambling, whatever. But those chase rares should always hold their value. I firmly believe that. So even though I would like a Cartesia in an ultra rare, I'm willing to not have it if that means that there's more cards to go around when I need them. I don't know. Do you feel any differently about that?
No, I feel about the same. I'm a little surprised they didn't do what they did with the Blue Eye structure deck, where they include the one card.
They did.
Oh, they did?
Yes. So you can get them Starlights. So same concept. You can get them as secret rares or Starlights. So everyone comes with one upgraded thing, which is kind of cool because there's a Starlight Thrust, a Secret Thrust, which are alt arts. Then there's like the alt arts of Ecclesia and Fleur-de-lis.
Oh, the ones that look like they're from like the anime.
Literally screenshots. The Fleur-de-lis I don't mind as much, but I was watching like a Team Samurai video and he was like, yeah, I'm not trying to be a hater, but these don't look like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yeah. They look like Digimon or Pokemon or like an Elite Trainer card or whatever. And I tend to agree with that. I opened one of them that was in a pack. It was like a secret rare version of Ecclesia. And immediately after I opened it, I was like, I shouldn't have opened that. I should have just put that in the box somewhere. And 20 years from now, I'll be like, remember that show? And tried to sell it for $10.
Is it a clear pack too, like the Blue Eyes?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's cool. And I think like this is something they introduced. I want to say it was in the Charmers structure deck, which in terms of value is like one of the better structure decks. It sucks that the cards are like dog shit unplayable. I still love that deck. But you got an ultra rare of something that came as a common in an alt art. So immediately like cool.
That is cool.
So one of your cards you would get same as like the Blue Eyes. But then you also got an ultra rare token. So it was one of 4 tokens that you could get. So there was even more incentive than buying 3.
Yeah.
Like you want to buy 4 of these structure decks so you could get each token. Or, trade tokens, whatever. If you got duplicates, sure.
Because Albaz Strike came with tokens, but they're all common.
Yeah. Yeah, which is a thing like they do if there's like a card that summons a token in the deck or whatever. But this is way cooler, because I don't even think the Albaz deck has a token, right? And they're good tokens. The Ecclesia and the Albaz in the fucking
the pictures are cool, and they've got little lore text on them. And
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's nice.
Which I think all structure decks should do, and I think because even if we look at the value of the Maiden of White from the Blue Eyes one, when it drops, it's $200.
Yeah,
and you could buy your deck and then sell the card, and your deck was free, and you got $100 on top of it. It was insane. So I'm all for it. Maybe there should be like a little bit more of the chase rare aspect of it, wherein like there's an alt art as one of those cards,
or it could have like that little emblazoned thing on the text
box,
like those Battles of Legends cards.
Yeah, absolutely, that'd be sick. But yeah, I think for the most part, like beyond just getting access to the reprints and a cohesive deck with new support, there's also a collector element of it. So again, like I think these structure decks are like the strongest product Konami's been releasing besides the Rarity Collection in the last however many years. But I don't know, like what would you say like they could do to make it more appealing for collectors?
Like I think what they've been doing recently has been all right. Like with the return of the Starlights, I think that, I mean, it's hard to say because I feel like you have a higher chance of getting a Starlight now than you used to. So that collector value maybe goes down a little bit.
Sure.
But the chase aspect has been frustrating. Maybe for me specifically, I can look at it this way. Marshmallow.
Sure.
So I got 2 copies of that essentially without paying for them. And the third one I had to source myself, and that's fine. But it's hard. And if you go on YGO Pro, a lot of decks don't even have their builds with Marshmallow in them because so few people have been able to get their hands on it. Yeah. It's been crazy. So like I guess the chase aspect, I mean, we're kind of just retreading stuff here, but that part is frustrating. Just like
definitely
the OCG model I think is still the better option where it's balanced, and then it kind of makes the chase nicer because then you're looking for that secret. I've got my super maybe. Yeah. But I want to get the secret rare, so I'm going to buy more product.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, this is a conversation that's definitely been had before, but like I don't know if I'd like a 1-to-1 we just inherit the OCG printing thing. But somewhere in the middle, right? Because again, I just don't think the meta game should be locked by buy-in. Yeah. I think like you should be able to get the staples you want without having to wait a year to get them as commons in the 5D set.
Well, just such severe buy-in too. Like it's almost always a secret rare, right? Yes. Like it's rarely that the chase card is the ultra rare unless it's like Ether Barrel Dragon or something.
Holy Sue was like a very rare example. So yeah, I don't know. That has always kind of been an issue, and I suspect it's not one they're going to be quick to solve.
No, it's making too much money.
They're making money off of it, right? And that'll always be the bottom line. But I would just encourage thinking that there could be a way to make even more money and to service the player base better. And for me, that would be like some sort of rarity climbing system where there is a chase rare. Like there's still Starlights in our pack, sure. But maybe I don't have to pull Marshmallow as a secret. Maybe it can just be an ultra, super even, and there's levels of it. Like I remember even Duelist Alliance days, like you could get something as a rare or a super or an ultimate.
Or even a ghost sometimes.
Yeah. And that was awesome because it was like, okay, I'm good with my Shadal Dragon or my Shadal Hound as a rare. I don't need it as a super.
Well, even Justice Hunters is a pretty good example of this. Like with the Yummy cards, you can get them as ultras because they were all ultras. Great. They were like $10 each. Pretty affordable ultras for a powerful deck. What if I want collector's rares? Those are in there too. Yeah. Starlights? Those are in there too. Yeah. 3 tiers?
Yeah. And then they go by rarity too, right? Like because there's no secrets in those sets. I think it's all ultra, like being or collector rather being the highest. But there are Starlights too. So you get cards that come in rare, and you can pull a super of it. Yeah. Like for me, I maxed out my Draco Tail rares into supers. Then I have a lot of my Draco Tail ultras as collectibles. I'm not buying Starlights, but like if I wanted to, I could. And that always feels so much better than Frixel's a secret. I have to buy the secret rare card, even though it's a one of. I have to pay $30 for it.
Well, it's crazy whiplash with Marshmallow after this happened because it's like you can only get it as a secret or a Starlight. And like, well, fuck, I'm not paying for a Starlight. It's like $300 or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I don't know what the solution is because obviously, like, in their minds, the secrets are the chase cards, and you only get 2 per box, and if you don't pull the good ones, your box always tanks. Now, like, I think that's why vendors and collectors are so important because they don't attach that same kind of value to the boxes they get, or maybe they do, but they're looking at it more like, okay, if I get the chase card, all of this product pays for itself, kind of thing. But for the average player who, like you or I, just wants the one card that we need, it doesn't feel ever worth it to buy a box because it's like, okay, if I pull the secret, that's $100. Great. Now I have one of them and I spent $90. Yeah. I would honestly rather just spend whatever it costs to buy the secret. And just go from there, because what are the chances I buy 3 boxes and pull 3 of them?
Great.
Or the chances that I buy 3 boxes and pull a card of equal value that I can then use to buy the secret that I actually need. So in most cases, it just feels bad. And I don't know exactly what I would propose as a solution, but there has to be something that kind of scratches both itches, if you know what I mean. So
I keep coming back to the Gundam card game here, but the pack opening experience of that game, so much better than
What's it like?
Oh my god. There's 2 slots that could be the holo cards. One is guaranteed, the other one is sometimes. They can both either be like the equivalent of a super rare. One can be, I guess it kind of jumps up to like almost ultimate rare at that point, because their legend rare cards are essentially ultimate rares.
Sure.
But then you can also get an alt art of a rare card, which would it would sit in the middle. It'd be like an ultra.
Sure.
And you get a lot of those per box. Like I opened one box of the original set, the first set, and I got like 13 of legend rares, and that's like standard ratios. And I felt like I got my money's worth. Like I opened these things and I was like, wow, this is nice. I can use all these cards.
Yes. Yeah. I guess like whenever it's like a chase card, because like I don't play Pokemon, I don't open Pokemon product, but I understand like the zeitgeist, like I get it, and everybody wants that crazy card because it could be thousands of dollars, right? But even still, that discrepancy makes it like that gap of like this pack could be absolutely worthless, or it could be $10,000. Makes it worth it. Like that risk makes it worth it. But with Yu-Gi-Oh, it's kind of like I can maybe pull a $200 card, but I'm gonna have to spend $200 to give myself a good chance, a remote chance, not even a good chance of doing it. The risk is not worth, or the reward is not worth the risk in it, because you could just be out $200 and you got the worst secrets and they're worth $10, and it's like I didn't actually want anything in this set. And I guess like from the scalping point of view, it's like funny to point and laugh at scalpers who lose money on product. But like you said, our game doesn't really experience that. And I think that's clear on a public and social level that this is not the same as Pokemon. That maybe they should factor. I don't suggest that they make the sets cheaper, but make them more valuable.
Like it's just a bad experience opening Yu-Gi-Oh packs. Like you pop it open, you skip like 7 of the cards. You don't even like. I don't care about these. I go through it. Here's my one common Mimigul fork.
Well, that's the thing, right? One of us buys a box. Everybody gets the commons that they need. There's no need for any of us to buy more boxes or to sort through commons, right? Like it's one of the most annoying things with trying to collect bulk. Is like my new thing is like I'll keep a playset for myself. I'll keep 3. If somebody ever needs them, that's it. The rest I'm getting rid of.
That's like, kind of what I started doing too. I've been downsizing because you have space to keep that stuff.
Yeah. No, and I'm even running out of space because it's just like there's so much pack filler. And like you said, maybe Genesis and like the rising popularity of Genesis makes way for pack filler to retain its value, or hold any value whatsoever. But until we get to that point, it's really tough to say like, and it's honestly baffling. Like you get a product like Battles of Legend, all foils, secret rare, ultras, and I think that's it. 5 cards per pack. Like I wonder if what the metrics on that are. Like, is it more worth it for Konami to stop printing these commons with a bunch of pack fillers that end up in the garbage? Because like they're worthless.
Yeah.
No one cares about them. They don't get played. Why not just, if there's however many secrets and ultras in a set, just print those ones. Like, I would have to imagine it's probably like half of what goes into a pack cost-wise is those commons that don't get used. Print it as an ultra, maybe do 6 cards per pack and just kind of be done with it.
Yeah.
And I hope that this structure deck or the success of this structure deck kind of, reinforces that to them. Because I'd imagine, and there's no way to know this at this point, that this will do much better than the 5Ds ones.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, how are they extrapolating? Like, how are they interpreting that information? Like my brain would say like, oh, people prefer a quality product with like
shiny cards.
Yeah. Maybe we should do more of that. It's like, nah, give them Apo cavities and fucking. But yeah. Yeah, no. I'm excited to see what kind of new product we get when they kind of start, because I imagine the whole quarter century thing really changed their perspective on it.
Yeah.
And some of the recent things we've seen, it feels more so like they are, like there must have been some sort of regime change there, don't you think?
It does feel like really rapid, the change.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because, like, first of all, the announcement of Genesis being as random as it was.
Yeah.
Then the emergency ban list. Good product. Animated show. It's kind of like, obviously these things were in the works for years. Yeah. But, like, what a time. Now if we could only get good sets.
2030 is 4 years away.
Oh.
We're going to get the...
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know what anniversary they're going to call that.
But. 5 years of the 30th anniversary. Well, yeah, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're going to post some matches soon. Maybe you and I can get one in here and post the one from last match. Yes. Anyways, congratulations on your first win.
Thank you.
And you're a champion, man. Woohoo!